Guys, I feel like every year or so we have this conversation about player, and it's in regards to the Ballon d'Or. It always happens. When Modric won it, when I think it was Jorginho was in the running to win it. Now we have another one who's in the running to win it, and has a great, compelling argument. This guy won the Premier League, he's won the FA Cup, he's won the Champions League, and he's also won the Nations League all in one season, and that is Manchester City's Rodri. And the question is, does Rodri deserve the Ballon d'Or this year? Now, this is Jack's idea. I want to hear what Jack has to say, and then I'll kind of delve into
it. It's first of all, I want to set my stall out by saying I don't necessarily think that he should win it. I think that Messi is an incredibly strong contender again, purely due to his World Cup exploits. I don't think that can be, James, I would argue that Messi, even if Messi didn't play club football, for his performances alone in the World Cup, I think you've got to consider Messi a strong candidate for the Ballon d'Or. And the World Cup will always have a huge impact. It's tricky to look past a lot of top Manchester City players, Erling Haaland, Kylian Mbappe, etc., because of their achievements. The conversation I want to have really revolves around what you can do in your position and how that should be respected. Rodri scored very important goals in very important times for this Manchester City team, which is out of character for the position in which he plays. He performed the duties of the position that he's being asked to do to the best that he possibly can. And he was the common denominator in a lot of success, which is usually the basis for whether you have success in Ballon d'Or voting or not. So you just mentioned it's 4 major trophies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Nation League is a major trophy, but
it's probably not yet. Maybe in 10 years we'll talk about it differently, but yeah, it doesn't really feel that way at this point. But common denominator in success, clutch factor, and also the eye test and the performances have been incredible. Now, he didn't score 51 goals in however many appearances like Erling Haaland did. He didn't borderline single-handedly win a World Cup like somebody like Lionel Messi did. But in terms of his position, we need to give credit where credit's due to doing the best you possibly can in the position that you play. Again, I don't need to tell you the history of Benzema, the Messi and Ronaldo decade plus, Luka Modric, Kaká. James, we have to go back to 2006 for Fabio Cannavaro, who had to win a World Cup, be a captain and be a mainstay to be able to do that for him to win the Ballon d'Or. Prior to that happening, you scroll, goalkeepers, defenders, and kind of the holding midfield types very rarely get their credit in these kinds of competitions. Part of the reason why I think for me, I would find it interesting if maybe, and you're probably not going to love this because the history of the Ballon d'Or and stuff, I'd kind of like to have best forward, best midfielder, best defender, best goalkeeper. I would like a way to kind of separate it. I know we have team of the years and stuff of that nature, but to me, it's very, very difficult to give top defenders their credit and top holding midfielders and top goalkeepers their credit because goals and assists are sexy.
No, guys, Jack, let's talk about it. Let's really, really talk about it. And one of the things I'll always mention to me that kind of ruined the game was when Modric won it, because I felt like he kind of done the thing where it's a common denominator. You were part of a team that won the Champions League. You were part of a team that went to the World Cup finals, and that was a common denominator. You automatically should win. As much as that year, I believe Ronaldo should have won it. And then it got to the Jorginho year where you were part of a team that won the Champions League. Then and then after that, you were part of the team who won the Euro. So the common denominators, you should win it. It's not always like that. To me, when I think about the Ballon d'Or, performance matters. And I need to look at you and I need to feel that you're the best player in the world. Do I feel Rodri is the best player in the world? No.
Right.
Yeah, I believe Kylian Mbappe is. But if I look at it as a body of work for a whole year, Jack,
yep,
his case is very, very strong. You must look like Jack. Let's build up the case. I think he was voted in the Premier League team of the season. He was voted in our Premier League team of the season, which is the most
He
important one.
he
Guys,
was
go
one of
check out
the.
the. Don't there.
No. You promote. You
Oh,
promote.
listen. Go check out the Box to Box Football Premier League team of the season. It looks like most likely will be in the world team of the season.
He
If I'm
was,
talking
yeah.
about the defensive midfielder, we talked about Casemiro, Thomas Partey, and him. This season, it's him. When you talk about the most important player for Manchester City, he possibly is that. Jack, listen, the big goal against Bayern Munich, the goal that kind of settled the nerves down to get them going, was that amazing curler that Jackie scored. He was named the man of the match, and much I think John Stones kind of edged him a little bit. He was named man of the match in the final, also scored the winner.
Scored the goal.
Jack, Guardiola is also known for rotating a lot of players. He's the one player, Jack, I don't think got rotated at all this season. He was
No.
there for every single game. Listen, if we play, Rodri has to play. And it's not like, oh, he might get taken off, Jack. No, he's finishing every single game. And I'm looking at his body of work. I'm looking at also the important goals he scored. When you look back a majority of great midfielder seasons, this will go down as one of the best, Jack, because just what he does on the ball, him being able to find these forward passes, getting into your Bernardo Silva, your Gunnagans, your Kevin De Bruyne's, breaking lines, and also off the ball. Yeah, maybe he isn't known for being this crazy mobile player, but Jack, he gets about the place and he breaks up play. And Manchester City players struggled in the final. He was one of the players that really stood up, and you could say,
Yep.
okay, yeah, listen, he was very, very, I would say he was outstanding compared to his other performers, but he was one of the best players on that day, Jack.
But the point I'm trying to make, I guess, is there are some positions where it's very hard because aesthetically it's very difficult for you to look at and go, wow. Sometimes it's what you don't do, or it's something that you do that prevents somebody from doing something else, which doesn't give you that aesthetic, like, whoa, look at that. Like, we're not talking about a guy who rainbow flicks another midfielder and then hits a Rabona crossfield past it. Like, no, his positioning sometimes can prevent an opposition player from playing a certain pass, right? That's not something that you look at and go, that's the best player in the world right there. But the impact on the game is undeniable. And I think that's where he needs to be given his credit. James, 66 appearances this season, including international, over 5,000 minutes of football. The goals he scored were very, very important. A couple of assists in there as well. And again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that if you and me were doing a draft, like a Nike advert, and we were picking our teams to play on the playground, Rodri would not be my number one overall pick. You just said it. It's Kylian Mbappe, it's Erling Haaland, Lionel Messi. You know the way it goes with that stuff. However, I just think that we need to give somebody within their position who's playing it at the highest level their credit. Again, my Ballon d'Or vote is probably a coin toss between the likes of, maybe an Erling Haaland or a Lionel Messi. It's just leaning that way. That would be my prediction of where it goes. But if I was voting, James, I'd give a really strong consideration to Rodri, and he might even get my vote.
Jack, do you know what it is? And listen, the Ballon d'Or this year don't stand out. There isn't, other years we Messi and Ronaldo, it will not just be the crazy goals, but be the impact. I don't believe Erling Haaland's had that much of an impact in big games compared to like Messi and Ronaldo of past years. And Mbappe, the fact that they got knocked out early in the Champions League and League on is, but his body work in the World Cup was sensational. The exact same thing with Messi. He won the World Cup, but the season wasn't the best going forward with PSG. There is a bit of doubt in who is going to be the Ballon d'Or winner here. And Rodri, to me, if you're looking at your top five, he's in the top five. He is definitely within a shout. And I'm going to mention another guy who recently left Barcelona and is arguably the greatest defensive midfielder of all time. Do I believe Rodri's going to be close to Sergio Busquets? No. But he
Good start, though.
But he can. Will he be better than him? No. But Jack, I believe he can get close to him. He's 27. Granted, he has been playing for a while now. But Jack, his last 2-3 years, it's been fantastic. Now, if he can continue this, and get the success that he's been getting with Manchester United, and maybe get one or two bit of silverware with Spain, he might be talked in the likes of a Sergio Busquets. I don't think he's on his. I think he's just a level below but you can definitely get in the discussion because you know what people are also going to be like, especially English people. He done it in the Premier League. Well, Busquets only did it in Spain. That's what some people say. You know, you guys, you know like who you are there, but
yeah,
overall,
European title, World Cup. Yeah, those don't matter.
but overall, Jack, Rodri's body of work this year definitely puts him in the category to
And
win the
James,
Ballon d'Or.
to me, the cherry on top is the winning goal in a Champions League final. I
That's
mean, like I'll be honest with you. I don't know if we'd be doing this video, we'd be having that conversation if he hadn't done that. But James, the difference maker, let's use basketball.
poor Manchester City performance, Jack, an awful one that was really going nowhere. He stepped up.
The XG thing too, right? I know it's not the most concrete philosophy ever. Newcastle, for goodness sake, Inter Milan should have won that game 2-1 or 2-0. That's what XG would have told us to do. Man City didn't deserve to win the game on that basis. But the guy who made the difference was Rodri. The guy who was, again, basketball terminology. James, finals MVP was Rodri. Right? That's huge. Every competition that he's been in, he's won. He's played probably more minutes than everybody else as well in that situation. James, it was the final. Kevin De Bruyne limped off injured. Erling Haaland was, I think, touched the ball 5 times. So again, you tell me what's going on here. You know what I mean? So again, I'm just floating it out there. I'm kind of convincing myself that I think if I was given a vote, I would probably actually vote for Rodri for this. My prediction would be that it's going to be Haaland. It would be maybe Messi as well. Those two are going to probably be a coin flip. We'll see what happens, but I think you've got to look at Rodri and just put your hands up and say that in his position, this past season, he's been the best in the world in his position.
FIFA, we need to vote. We need to vote to decide.
We've been asking for ages.
Need to sort us out with that. But guys, Manchester City fans, football fans, should Rodri win the Ballon d'Or? Yeah, comment down below, let us know, and we'll see you guys next time.